Got it.
Very good afternoon to the viewers of Suniyetau, and a very hearty welcome to my beloved Sujata, who has been with us, the family, our family, direct family, who's been part of our family for over 20 years or more. And this is the third set of programs that we're doing together, because she has written 3 books, and we're now dealing with her third book, which is called Wink. So you want to say a few things to the viewers, and then please start the way you wish.
Okay. So thank you so much for having me on your show, and to all the listeners. Kim does a wonderful job, and he is
Thank you.
giving a platform for people's voice to be heard. And that is so appreciable, because the rest of the world is always trying to shut you down, put you down. And he does the opposite. So I'm really very thankful, blessed, and grateful that he has given me a chance to speak. And
Well,
with that, you can ask me any questions on Wink.
Well, you're very welcome all the time, and this is not the last of our meetings on Zoom. We'll be doing further things, basically talking to you about and explaining to our viewers what you've been about. Now, your background has already been talked about and is there in our previous videos. And so we just carry on with the third book. Apparently, this is a mystery book. So can you talk about it, or will you let it remain a mystery?
No, it will not a mystery. So the interesting aspects of this book writing is that, first of all, it's a murder mystery, and it is different from my previous 2 books. And this was written in 7 days.
Oh, great.
And so it's a little bit ironic, because my first book was written in 7 months, and my last book till as of date has been written in 7 days. And this book is like a pocket book of, murder mystery. And that's the beauty of it, because this is a book you can just put it in your bag and go, and it's sort of a light reading where anyone can take it wherever they wish to, and it's not something where you have to think a lot about who done it, kind of a thing. So is that, but it has got little twist, like everything that I do. It's got a little twist of my personal characteristics in the book, because when you develop characters in a book, you can put it on any kind of a person, right? When you develop characters, it is always based on something, though we always write and say this book does not bear, it's a fiction, and it's
no resemblance to any living
blah, we
situation.
say that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that all writers, I think, base their characterization of the characters in the book based on the people around them, right?
Yeah.
Because how else will you describe a personality down to the, the details of the clothing that they wore, the mannerisms that happened? So it is always like that. I mean, I'm not talking only of this book. I'm talking in general of people who write books, right? And one wonders, no, how they have made the characters so they come alive. It's because it's always modeled on somebody. Everything that you write has to have some context.
Definitely.
I have used, I think my name has been used in the book, and one of the characters resembles, I think, Vivek, when he went through his journey of transformation and evolution. So that is there. Of course, that's a fictitious name that we have given. Yeah, so that is my third book.
Great. So the questions are many, but basically, if it's a murder mystery, then can we talk about the method that was used in modus operandi, whatever it's called in legal terms, of murdering, and some of the characters that you have used in this mystery? Can you reveal them in this talk?
Yeah, I can reveal a little bit, not fully
Sure, sure.
because nobody's going to read my book.
Yeah. No,
The
no, no,
fact of the
obviously not.
matter is that, I modeled it around what is typically in our day and age. You have these, so-called gurus, right?
Okay.
And people pay. Nowadays, the gurus don't actually, in olden times, probably they sat under a tree with a specific uniform, right? Long hair and, minimalistic clothing, could be color clothing. So you associate it with a certain sect. Nowadays, the gurus are quite modern and they fly jets, and then they have big, discourses in, what should I say, air-conditioned venues,
Pause. Yes.
right? So you have those gurus, and one does not know exactly, while people, rush after them and idolize them on what they say, but they actually don't know the background scene. So this guru is not only, and nowadays, of course, you have these lot of revolutions of where, the gurus and all these people have shady pasts or shady backgrounds. Nowadays, that movement is also there. So this is a bit like that, where you see that the guru is not all that he seems in the background. And when
Wonderful.
somebody discovers or comes to know,
Mm.
then the murder mystery starts happening, because there is a murder, then there you will reveal other characters where they are behind the scene. It's a much bigger picture of a network of people who are, doing things to attract money. And when the cover is going to be blown, then they are going to do nothing. I mean, they're going to do everything to stop,
Yeah.
the people from discovering. So it is like that.
Mm.
And yeah, it's quite an interesting book. I've been told that I've written it in a very different way, which I take it as a compliment, because every writing is like a piece of art or painting. So it can be always different. And what I like is, if all my three books are different, then that is what I like, because instead of being typecast and writing a series of books on the same genre, I think it is good if I write different kinds of books on different topics.
Okay, so it seems to be that the plot is about some sort of a religious figure who uh, propagates him or herself as a religious figure, but they're behind the clothing, or it's really what is
Yeah,
the
there are other corporate individuals or shady individuals who have propped up this guy,
yeah.
and they're actually making a lot of money. And if you knew what happened in the background, then you wouldn't be following that guru, right? I mean, gurus are not only about religious things, but they're also about, they'll give talks on leadership, management, and the ways of life. The ways of life, you live like this and you eat like this and you do like this, and you shall achieve nirvana or whatever it is that one hopes. And it can be mere talk, because unless it touches you, impacts you, and makes sense to you, these are all, publicity gimmicks many a times.
Mm. So mm, this guru has a team of let's say cronies who are
Yeah,
involved in this
yes.
many nefarious activities. First of all, they
Yeah.
attract people and do the marketing and so on and so forth, bring people, vulnerable people, gullible
Yes.
people into this trap, and then later on, as one or two of them or more get into realizing what the situation is, then that can't be kept a secret by these
Allowing the people to
cronies
this.
and the guru, so that person has to be murdered.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
do you resolve this mystery?
Oh,
Do you
yes.
work backwards, or
Yes.
you
No, no,
start with the murder and then resolve the mystery, or you
no, no, it
paint a
gets
scene
resolved.
of the guru? What do you do?
No, no, it gets, this one, first one is gets where everything gets resolved. The next one, which I'm planning, will not get resolved so easily. There may not be any resolution, but this one does get resolved. So it is like, you will come to know everything. So behind the scenes, why it happened, who was doing it, everything is, gets identified.
I'm curious because I haven't had the time to read the book at all, and I'm waiting for you to be here so that I can read it with you rather
Yeah.
than
Yes.
read
Storytelling,
it separately. But
reading it
anyway,
alone.
I'm a as you know, a murder
Hmm.
mystery fan, and
Hmm.
I do read, try and read, but I don't always get time, like I explained to you. Some of
Yeah.
the mysteries, the traditional mysteries by the Indian writers like Ibn Safi and so on, who wrote in Hindustani languages and so on. And then I always follow other murder mysteries written by Sherlock Holmes, Arthur Conan Doyle, the usual, mystery solvers, like Sherlock Holmes and so many others.
Yeah.
So I always am fascinated by those and try and watch those movies. Even in the Hindi movies, I prefer to watch the ones with some sort of a murder
Murder
mystery or a
mystery.
plot or
A
whatever.
suspense.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
suspense. But the thing is, so my mind is curious, and I would like you to take the audience of this podcast along. Like, do you start with some sort of a very somber and uh, scenario, like everything is calm and cool and this and that, or do you start with a very you know uh, difficult murder scene? Uh,
No, no, no.
what?
This book is not about, like the CSI something where it starts with the crime scene and all. This
Mhm,
book actually starts with like an event where people are going to hear this person.
mhm,
Like you go to an event and there is a speaker of repute or a popular person, and people are rushing to,
mhm,
see them. It starts like that. It's
mhm.
like, event, which is this thing, which could be innocuous and you don't really know where it's going to lead to.
Okay.
And then, some things happen, and then you see that, oh, something else is going on behind the scenes, little by little. But because it's a very small book, so I wanted it to be something which is packed, and it gets revealed, and there's not much thinking that you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
but it will keep you on your toes. It will keep you, this thing now, what is going to happen and everything. It will finish very fast because it's a tiny book and it's
Okay.
not meant.
So can I ask you how many pages?
Oh, now I've forgotten. If I don't have the physical book
Okay.
with me, I don't
But
remember.
less than 100.
I think so. Less than 100, or maybe not more than 150 or something.
Okay, well, that's fine. Within 200 pages. So that's
Yes.
not a small book, because 200
It is
pages,
actually a very small, tiny book.
then it
It
shouldn't be
is.
more than 200, 100 pages.
It is between 150 to 200.
Okay, well, that's not a tiny book.
Font is a little bit low
Mhm.
in the first few pages because, the formatting in Amazon was not really up to the mark.
Mm,
After it, and I've kept it very, the spacing and everything in such a way that you can read it fast.
okay.
Mm.
So that's good. I think we will reveal enough now. And it's up to the viewers to
Yeah.
actually. We'll put the link for the book
Yeah.
in this
As far
podcast.
as I know, because I keep checking the websites, this book, because it is so small and it is so low in its pricing, that it is not conducive for even covering logistics. So this book, if I'm not mistaken, is available only on Amazon US.
Mm,
Unlike my other two books, which is available across Amazon in all countries,
mhm,
this one is available only in US, because I think if it's so cheap and low priced, it doesn't make sense for logistics costs, which would be,
mhm.
3-4 times
Yeah,
the
fair
cost of.
enough. Amazon do charge like a
Yeah.
bull, as they say in Australia.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's not a very good idea, especially if you are not
Yeah.
keen on spending more money. So, and it is
Yeah.
fair enough. So,
Consumers are not keen, and so I think Amazon also would not, put it there.
yeah.
Because if you go and search my other two books, you'll find it there in Australia also. But
Mm,
if you try to find Wink, you'll only find it in US.
mm. Well, then perhaps we should plan for an ebook so that I mean, ebook is there, but a digital an audio book,
Yeah.
which may be a bit more the way to
Yes.
go these days, as people find it difficult watching things, but they can listen to things while traveling and so on and so forth. And a lot of mystery books have been turned into audio books, so that people can just listen to it on their mobiles or other
Yeah.
platforms, so that they can then not uh, concentrate in terms of having to view or watch a program. So
That's
that will be probably the next way to go, and I'll see with you how we can go about getting
Mm.
an audiobook done. If you feel that you have time, do it. Otherwise, we will work it out together. And so, well, if you've got anything else to say, I don't really have any more questions because this is
yeah,
a short,
because I
short
told
interview.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's short because this book is, as I said, in every which way, it's a short book. It's a tiny book, and it is, something which you can just put in any bag and just carry it with you.
yeah, well, that's wonderful. Now, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Did Vivek assist you, or did he give you an idea? What was his contribution?
Vivek always assists me because whatever we do together.
Okay.
So, in terms of sometimes characterization, I would take his help,
Hmm.
because in real life, if I have to say my real life stories, that is different. But when I have to make up fictitious characters, you know, the details of how they dressed, what they wore, and what were this thing, that I sometimes have to ask Vivek for help because he is better in developing those things, how they walked or how they were wearing or what they were doing. That requires for a lot of thought. And, you have to picturize somebody like that. So that, you know, I think that's a difficult
So,
part in writing for some
yeah.
writers, at least for me.
So, have you built a detective character in this, or?
Yes, there is. It's not really detective, but yes, there is. All the characters are quite well defined,
Hmm.
all well defined.
So, do you intend to take this detective specially and his or her
I
assistants in the next mystery book?
No, I want to do a series of this pocketbook crime. So
Hmm.
it can be not necessarily the same character, it could be different characters, but definitely in the same genre, you know, like same small size and same kind of, again, some mystery or something else, or suspense or a thriller or something, or maybe unrelated. This thing, it could just be a pocketbook series, but definitely I want to do that. I plan to do that. Let's see how
Hmm.
it goes.
But it's probably a good idea to build a character
Yeah.
who is a detective, and I'll give away some of my thought
Yeah,
processes. That
you are writing or in the process of writing.
yeah, it's I'm struggling in terms of not struggling, but I'm rather slow with it. I have thought of the characters, I've done the plots at high
Mm.
levels and so on. And my detective is called Mary, the lady detective. I always believe in ladies being capable of much more than men.
Yeah.
So, so my detective is a lady, Mary Manas is her name, and it's a background with Sydney as the her city, And the
Yeah.
first part, which I've already written about a few pages and so on, is about her getting involved in a in an accident, and she's accused of murdering that person. And
Okay.
and then when she goes through the whole court case, in which a lawyer
Mm.
and a newspaper person to help her and all that. So that's that's a sort of plot. But the murder it's a series of murders that happen. So it's like your thought process of continuing on a series of episodes, if you like. And then but some characters like Mary and the newspaper person and a person who does the background video checking and so on, a lawyer, those are all set already, and they will carry on. So and then along the way a number of other characters come in, and that's how the plots get developed. So the plots are quite they start off small, but they go right up to the international level conspiracies.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's
Sounds so interesting. I can't wait for it.
pray for me that I can get enough motivation to write it. I wrote once
I'm
I
telling
start.
you, I'm waiting for it. What motivation? You must finish because you
Thank
have
you.
now increased my curiosity, and I'm looking forward to reading it because it sounds really interesting. And when you're looking forward to this and you already have an audience who's wanting it, you have to finish it. You cannot stop what you have already written. How many pages have you written?
I can't offhand remember, but at least 10 or 12 pages are there. And I have even talked with some of the uh, stage artists that with whom I worked. I did some previous plays, and I wrote some of them. And so that one, so those guys are encouraging me. Yet I need to produce the goods so they can come along and do
I'm also
the
encouraging you. I'm
Thank
telling you that if you get stuck somewhere, or if you want any continuity help, or you want to have some ideas bounced off, as the story goes, you are most welcome to tell me, and I would give whatever we can, because sometimes you get stuck and then somebody gives you one or two pointers which just makes you carry
Yeah,
forward, because writing is
yeah,
all about that. What happens
wonderful.
is, if you don't write in a flow, this is what happens. You have to write in a flow, so
That's
you
it.
have to take out time. I didn't write these books without the flow. It was very structured. Like, for example, if you decide it's 60,000 words or whatever, you've set a target of your words and of your pages. Then you break it down, and every day you give yourself the time. You can go slow, but go consistent. Like every day, half an hour you give to your writing. So then you can monitor in half an hour how many pages I wrote or how many words I wrote. Then you will know how many days it will take you to complete it. But if you
Yeah,
stop in between, then you lose the flow.
yeah. Yeah,
What more?
and
What's
so the
boring?
plot is quite exciting for me
Yes,
because
plot
I
is going exciting, and you have
yeah,
so many characters. So you have to develop the character with the plot. So please start writing.
yes, I will do that.
I will
That's
now ask
given
you
me
every day. You'll get very upset and pissed with me. I don't care, but I'm going to ask you. If not every day, I'll give you some leeway. Every second day, I'm going to ask you, have you written? Have you written? What is the
Boy,
progress?
now I have to get on with it. Thank you very much, Sujata.
Now don't stop. Now don't stop responding or ignoring, because I might become a pain in the whatever. But you must do that, and I will not be doing my job if I don't encourage you to
Well,
finish what you
if you
started.
do that,
Because
then I'll ask you to help along with Vivek to help me.
yes, of
So
course.
yeah. All right. Well, that's it. So let's not bore our audience with what
Oh, The audience, you know why I'm doing this? Because the audience will hear you, know you, then they will also be waiting for it. And once you commit something in front of audience, then you have to deliver.
You see, my love is actually Suniyetau. And I like to, the other, my love from the past has been mirror mysteries. And from my, high school days when I started reading Jasusi Dunya and all that. And, but the point is, it's difficult to find time. Suniyetau itself takes up reasonable amount of time, although I've regulated it so that I don't get involved so much. Earlier on, I was doing so many programs. It was just not on. I mean, I couldn't manage it to the extent as I did in the past. So, so that's one of the things, that there's a lot of technical work, and I've developed some.
Oh, of course it is. You might want to do research into certain things and all that. I'm not denying it, but write a little every day. If I'm not even telling you write in the week, because in the week also is too much gap. So write every day, and it's not that you cannot take out time. If you set your mind to it, you will make the time. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour max. But if you do write every day, then you will get there. If
Yeah.
you don't write, it will be a very long-term project, which I don't want.
Yeah. All right then. Thank you. You've given me enough, Philip, for getting on with it. And thank you for the support and the push. And so let's sort of conclude our program here, and see our viewers in the next program. I would be very much delighted if you could finish off this program with your words for our audience of Suniyetau, the viewers of Suniyetau. And let's hope we can do other things in future. Thank you.
So, dear audience of Suniyetau, you've already heard my story, my book, but now I will end by saying we are going to look forward to his book and can't wait. I mean, we are waiting eagerly, whichever way you want to put it, but our next episode should be when he has published his book. Maybe I can interview on, instead of you interviewing me, I can interview on that. So I look forward to I look forward to having to interview you on your book. So do complete it and let the audience not wait for too long. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I look forward to that interview. Wonderful. Thank you once again, Sujata. You've been very sweet about all the things that we have talked about this evening. And I thank you and our audience of Suniyetau, the viewers of Suniyetau especially. And we wish everyone all the best for the future. And we hope that they will get back to us via the various means, like, commenting on this program, and also sending emails, and particularly phoning me or something if necessary, if they are interested in more stuff that they wish to talk about, or just communicate with us. So thank you again, Sujata, and thank you to the viewers of Suniyetau. We look forward to your cooperation. Thanks. All the best. Bye-bye.